This time of year, in the winter, there's quite often little feeding windows. Now, just half an hour before first light, and that first kind of hour as the world starts to come to life. And also again, at the end of the day. So, popping out, hour before work, or an hour after work, trying to change your schedule a little bit just so you get that little fix, can pay absolute dividends, because at this time of year you can sometimes go all day and the feeding window is so small that all your bites come in that last hour. So you may as well be at work and then just cream the top off the milk and fish that first or last hour, catch a few fish, get your fix, go home, everyone's happy. Been here for first light and it's just getting light. Now it's crawling creature baits across the bottom. See if I can get a few perch just before the light comes, and then as it starts to light up, the fish will start striking, the silverfish will start showing, and then I'll go on to a little pro shad and see if I can pick up some of the fish which are actually feeding on the fry. That's the plan. Here we go. So there was lots of fish striking. I started off on lots of perch striking, and I was trying to target perch, but I don't think this is a perch somehow. It'd be a good perch if it was, but no, I've just seen a little jack there. And in the winter you can see these banks are absolutely lethal. And one of the best things I've got recently is one of these nets, one of our new nets. How I ever cope without it, fishing rivers with steep banks in the winter, I do not know. So there we go, a little hornet. The light levels were still low, and they were definitely feeding. Look at that long net, super easy and super safe. Lovely. Let's have a look at that one. Have a little look at that. Still fairly clean. There we go then. It's still only about 7:45, so I could get to work for 9 o'clock, get changed, and I'd be straight in the office, and I'd have a fish on the bank, and I'd have watched the world come alive, and I'd have had the drag going on my rod, and what a great start to the day that'd be. It just shows what getting out of bed early can do. It can give you a quick fix with the old fishing. Let's slip this one back. Go on. So caught that one there. That little pike there was caught on that rattling hornet, full of ball bearings. It was great on the low light levels. Comes back with loads of vibrations. I never remember which ones dive to which, so I've written on there 6 foot, so I know that this one will go to 6 foot on the retrieve. And out there, it's probably about 7-ish, that sort of thing. So, but I reel it and pause, so it goes down, comes up, goes down, comes up. So a bit like a bait fish, and that's what they're feeding on. So, still really early. They were fry feeding so hard up there below the weir that they were literally impossible to catch. So the logic is I'm going to move a little bit further downriver. It's a bit more coloured down here, but I'm going to change and just see if the pike are feeding. The perch didn't seem to be. Then what I'm going to do is try and catch the pike. It's a very quick session. So I could have just sat there just kept grinding away, and I'd have probably caught one, but I don't really find it that enjoyable when I've just got to keep grinding to get a fish. Some people do, some people don't. It's not for me, so I prefer to go and chase them. So go on to the old hot olive, bit brighter. The bait fish pattern I just had on is great, silver bait fish. It's one of the most popular ones I use all the time, especially in 7.5 centimetre for perch, but it is quite coloured here, and that's got loads of flash on the belly. It's a hot olive, absolutely classic lure. So confidence. You tend to be the most lucky with the lure you use the most. So let's see how we get on. There we go then. So on the little, it's come out in the net. Is it in the net? Yeah, no, it's out the net. There we go, that was good. So got a little jack there, lively little thing. That was on the Zander Pro in a hot olive. I'm scouring out, I'm trying to get a perch. So I like having a little brace if I can. I like getting a bit of action on the pike, get the drag going, and then switching over and seeing if I can search out a few perch. So still going to go for the perch, still going to try and keep it a super short session. Get this little one back. I'm not going to go down there because it's too muddy. Oh, it's a bit caught on the branch there. There it goes, gone, as easy as that. Perfect, see if we can get a perch. Ooh, so a load of scattering over the far side. I couldn't catch a perch for love nor money back at the other bridge, the other bit of structure I was at. There was just so much pike activity, which you can usually sometimes catch the perch when the pike are feeding like that, but there was lots of pike around this sort of size, which were just so preoccupied with the bait fish which were there, just couldn't catch a perch. So this is basically on the way home. I said, Sam, there's another bridge, it's on the way home, there's loads of structure, it's right in the town, which is always good. So in the winter time you find that a lot of the bait fish come into towns. If they go to structure, they go into towns, bridges, whirlpools, all these types of things are fantastic in the winter. So yeah, literally come down here, just having a couple of little casts. There's slack water around these big bridges, really snaggy in here, but that's great habitat for the fish. So just flick the lure. There we go. There you go. Not the biggest perch I've ever caught, but it's a perch. That's all I wanted to catch today. There you go. He's got on my creature bait. You can see it's actually missing one of its appendages there because a pike grabbed hold of the end of it at the last place. I didn't replace it, I left it on there. Still do the job as it's just been proven. So there we go, nice little perch. Beautiful. They've got to start somewhere, and I can pretty much guarantee where there's one, there'll be more. Let's put this one back. Go on then. Pretty. There he goes. So what I'm doing at the moment is just casting out, weedless with the creature bait. You can nearly ledger with them because the flow's always going like that and they're stood up, so you can literally nearly ledger, especially when it's really snaggy. I find when it's really snaggy, I don't like to move them too much if I can, because it's that chance of going into things, and when I do, I like to gently skip them over. Because they're weedless, you can usually snag, you can just gently ease them over the top of them and let them down. So there's a lot of snags out here for sure. So I'm literally down there. It's a slack area, you've got all the main flow coming through there, and I've already had one, so it's perfect habitat for the perch. So that's what I'm doing, that's the technique I'm doing. Letting it sit, a couple of little pools. Always try and vision what's going on under the water. So that's the perch's world. They pretty much, if you can get close, say within a metre or so, they know that that's there. They're going to come and look. If it stays still for quite a long time, it'll be moving. It's easy for them to hit, a couple of little twitches, bam, that's when they can quite often go smack and they hit it like they would in their actual world. They'd hit a crayfish really hard with a bang to stun it, and then they can obviously then hit it and dodge and mouth it how they want to. But first of all, they need to just stun it. So quite often you get a bang and then you're in. Right. That was a tap. Go on, do it again, do it again. Do it again. There's a fish under there now which has followed it all the way back. Just plucking at it. There you go. See the braid moving off? There you go. There we go. Oh, oh! it's a branch and a perch. Lovely. There we go. Proof is in the pudding. Look at that little fatty. Look at that. Lovely little fish. Whoa. There we go. Look at that. Beautiful little fish. The old hump there. Beautiful. Slip this one back. Let's go. I think we're going to get that lure in straight away because that's 2 fish in a couple of casts. Quite often if you ever bring your lure back and it looks like that, you haven't felt anything or anything. It's where a perch has literally folded you down, you've missed setting the hooks, or you've missed seeing or feeling the indication. And when it brings like that, now and again they can slip, but it's quite likely that that was a take. Obviously I just had a fish on it, but if you bring it back and you haven't got a fish and it looks like that, reset it, get it back out there quick, because it's very likely that it was a fish. Always check your hook point, even when they're weedless. They can come exposed a bit and it's very rocky down there, and away you go. Here we go, here we go. That's a bit better, that's a bit better. Perfect. What a beauty, lovely. Yeah. Wow. Look at that one. They're getting bigger. They're getting bigger. What I'm going to do is slip this one straight in the net just for a couple of minutes. It's freezing cold to touch. Freezing cold. Really lethargic. So they want that lure super slow across the bottom at the moment. I'm going to put this one in the net. I'm going to get it straight back out again because they're getting bigger. I want to see if I can catch another one. So we'll get this one unhooked. Yeah. Woohoo! Perfect. Like peas of a pod. So, first light, shoot to a structure next to the busy road, catch a couple of pike, and then down to the next structure, catch a couple of nice perch on the ultralight rods and go home. Like, that's not me saying, oh, it's so easy, you can do it. But if you go to the right places and go to where the structure is, then you can actually literally just choose your time, and rather than spending all day just grueling out the and grinding out the fish, you can actually just use your time and go to where they are and catch them in the feeding windows, or catch them when they're very likely to be, or where they're very likely to be. And then you can still enjoy the rest of your day and do plenty of other things. So it's not about going out from dawn till dusk. Don't get me wrong, sometimes dead baiting, you might do that sort of things. But with lure fishing, that's the whole point of it. It can be really quick, really easy, and you don't have to have lots of time. You can just walk the canal path first light in the morning. In the summer, it gets light about 4:30 or 5. So you can go down the canal and you could easily do an hour before work. And you can easily do an hour in the evening, you know, between 9 and 10. So, you know, you don't have to just put in lots and lots and lots of time to catch the fish. And it's not just about catching the fish anyway, it's about being outside, being in the fresh air, having a bit of a laugh with some mates, Doesn't matter if you're catching wasps or if you're catching better perch like this or 3 or 4 pounders. Doesn't really matter really. Fishing's lots of different things to lots of different people. But what it is it's a great way to relax, have fun, chill out and get away from the crazy world we live in. Because when you're fishing, nothing else matters. These 2 little beauties are going to go back now to where they came from, straight back to the structure, I don't doubt. Absolutely freezing water. I'd imagine it's about 4.5, 5 degrees around that. There goes one. Go and follow your mate. See you when you're a few pound bigger. Ooh, yeah. Beautiful. What a lovely fish. Beautiful when they're small. And absolutely incredible when they're big. Beautiful. Freezing. That's a wrap. Time to go home.